So this is the most realistic portion of our journey. For 3 days, we're on the Missouri River canoe trip. You can see the canoes there. And we are camping in the exact spot where Lewis and Clark camped on May 31st, 1805. They know this because and we're actually with an archaeologist. This is a really cool experience here. But he so that when you find evidence of camps, because they didn't know exactly, a lot of people have camped along the river over the years. But Lewis and Clark, if you remember, they were taking, every time someone would get sick, or they got syphilis or something like that, Lewis would give them Dr. Rush's Thunderclappers, I think they're called. And the main ingredient was mercury. Well, people don't eat mercury, all right? They don't ingest that stuff. But Lewis and Clark's expedition did. And so when archaeologists are looking through an old campsite like this to see if it was an Indian campsite or something else, and they find, the poop that's left over from a long time ago, and they look into it and they find mercury, they know that that was a Lewis and Clark site. And so that's literally how they're finding out where exactly they camped in a lot of the places, was by the mercury that was left. But it was May 31st, and on that night, Lewis wrote in his journals about these magnificent cliffs, these white cliffs. He talked about, we just took a hike up through some slot canyons where they had just the rock with these really cool formations. But he described it as just, he said it doesn't take much imagination or fantasy to imagine these as grotesque creatures and stuff, but he was just awed by this. He thought no one's ever going to live here, and in fact nobody does live up here. But he said the rocks are just incredible and fantastical. All right.